Gonna come,
Guna fam, what's good? We're back on our post-match day review here with the PE Supporters Club member Murray. He's here to talk about the first game of the season, 3-0 win, and obviously they hosted the game, so we'll chat a bit about how it was at the Supporters Club. So yeah, Murray, how are you feeling? How did you feel about the game? Quite exciting start to the season.
Yeah, it's always good to sort of start the season off with a 3-0 win, especially against London rivals. Hopefully it will sort of set the pace, and especially now, taking nothing away from Fulham, I think it was a nice little stepping stone for Willian to get adjusted, which he definitely looked quite at home. And Gabriel as well. Just to try and fit into the team's dynamics and the chemistry in the match environment. So yeah, I think it was a very good game. We're happy with it, of course, and hopefully we can continue the streak.
Yeah, it was. And as you pointed out, those two players, I think they were like the players of the game, to be fair. But if you have to break down the game for a bit, we'll talk like the first 15 minutes, we didn't look the best, going into the first half. The first 15 minutes, we had that close chance with Gabriel and Leno. And then after that, they just looked like they fairly got back into the game. Even William took a bit of time. But then I don't know, like it just looked like they settled in and started playing the way that Arteta wanted. Maybe it was a bit of nerves first few minutes, but it was really positive seeing them settle in. And then we can talk about the goals, like Lacazette and then obviously Gabriel scoring and William assisting. But yeah, how did you feel about the first 15 going into how we transitioned back and try to take control of the game?
Yeah, I think there was definitely nerves in that first minute when Gabriel had a bit of a miscommunication there with Leno. But I think, like I've said, it comes down to just learning the dynamics and learning your teammates around you. I think Holding and Gabriel at the back were pretty solid. I think they did quite a good job. And Tierney also had a fantastic game with the whole defense. But yeah, after that first minute, Fulham were coming at us hard, which I sort of had a feeling they would, because they want to make an impression, and it's never easy, taking on a team that's been newly promoted. I mean, you look at Liverpool; they struggled against Leeds, and I think the only reason why they really won that game was due to penalties. So, but I mean, we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
But it's always difficult, to take in on a team that's been newly promoted. They've got the hunger. They've got that. They've still got that. That enthusiasm to actually do something, because they've just recently been.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. But John, I think the guys were a bit nervy at the back. William, he did take a little bit of time, not much, but he's accustomed to the Premier League as well, so he knows what to expect from these teams. He knows what to expect from the refs and the games and the pitches as well. So, it didn't take him as long, but looking at him in that first half, I think he's going to cause some damage. I had my suspicions about him.
Yeah.
Touch wood, it is only one game, but he looks very comfortable up there with Aubameyang and Lacazette. He's linking pretty well. So hopefully we can see some more of Willian and what he can bring to the club in the next couple of games and for the rest of the season, actually. But it's just a shame that Pepe now, has to not sort of take the back seat. I was really going to hope that he was going to step forward, but the rest of the guys played well. I mean, even El Nani, he hasn't been in the Premier League for a long time, and Xhaka as well. I mean, they really ran the midfield. I think we were a bit exposed when we started marking the central midfielders, where it gave Fulham a lot of space on the wings. But I think Niles and Tierney, I think they backed it up pretty well on the left and the right, respectively, and Bellerin as well. I think he also had a fantastic game. Considering that he was under a bit of controversy and flack in the last season. But first half was pretty good. I think we won the first half. It was a bit nervy. You could see Arteta was sitting back like he normally did last season, and welcoming the pressure. But then I think he came out of the box, and I think he said, let's just go for it. And it's exactly what we did. We applied the pressure. First goal was good. I feel it should have been Williams, but it looked like he was a little bit lost. He didn't know where the ball was. But I'll take the goal. I think we're hungry for goals. I think last season we probably wouldn't have finished that, and we wouldn't be looking as lethal as we are and looking as comfortable as we are. I mean, it looks like we've been, we midway through the season and the guys are just free flowing. I mean, it doesn't look like they had a bit of a break. It doesn't look like it has been preseason, given that we were playing just at the beginning of the month. But they look fresh and they look hungry, and we haven't seen this Arsenal in a while. So hopefully we can continue to build on this form and, just bring out the best. We've got Liverpool in 2 weeks' time at the end of the month. That's going to be a big test. And another London derby now next weekend. So it's a nice little test for the guys.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, I think it adds to the cake with the performance. Because I was speaking to other guys, like, I can't really single out one player because everyone did well. And you kind of pointed that out. Of course, Willian for his debut, doing what he did. And Gabriel scoring on his debut. I don't know if you remember the celebrations, like how excited everybody else was, like around. They know what it means, and they're like, look at this kid. He just comes in and he's like in shock. But I think that was a special moment. But I think the most special moment is our striker, man, and our captain, he's too good. He's just too good. Like, that goal, talk me through a bit of the Gabriel goal and then how amazing, because those two goals were a bit, weird-ish, it wasn't, against the run of play. It just happened, and you're like, oh, okay, it's a goal, all right. Because there was a good header, don't get me wrong, by Gabriel. Really good header and really good take by Lacazette, but it was kind of in the mud, in the rut, it's in there, and we got through. And I think other seasons we wouldn't have scored those goals sometimes, because we tend not to be that type of team. But then Aubameyang just comes and just seals it, with a special goal. So talk me through the Gabriel, and then of course Aubameyang feeling, and of course at the supporters club, what it was like.
Well, I think it was good following up firstly from Lacazette, just to go back on that first goal. Like I've said, and also you said that we would never finish those goals, last season or even the season before. So well done by the guys. I mean, as I said, they look hungry for it. I think that just lifted our nerves a little bit. I mean, we didn't go crazy, but we were quite relieved and we made a bit of noise. But the Gabriel one was, it was quite a surprise. And like you said, now most of the guys were more thrilled than he was. And I think it was, almost in disbelief, not because they didn't believe that he could do it, but it was a perfect debut. You have a clean sheet, or at that stage you had a clean sheet. And now you score a goal as well. I mean, what more could you ask for from a defender? And it was a great header.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the keeper was just misfooted, but I mean, you nutmeg the keeper with a header, and it's a powerful one. The keeper doesn't even move. It's a good sign.
And to say, he didn't get everything on it. So I would love to see when he gets in the air and really goes through the header, there was good technique to get it down, but still I felt he only got about half power on it. So
it's fine. We got the full goal. So it's all right. Could have come off his shoulder. It could have come off his ear. It doesn't matter as long as we got the goal. But I mean, what a corner from Willian. I mean, taking nothing away from him, it was quite pinpoint. And holding as well. I mean, I think our mind games as well in the box. If you really watch the highlights, I think one of the free kicks, or Willian's free kick, I think Lacazette was just staring the defender right next to him, at his face, which is a bit intimidating. I mean, what are you doing as a defender or as a striker? And then all of a sudden they broke away, and then it's weird. And then Holding, before that goal, he was running around the keeper. He was running circles around the keeper. He went out the goal, into the goal again, and you can't mark that. I mean, you're going to cause so much confusion in the box. And Gabriel just jumped up, he made it. We got the goal, which was fantastic. But the Aubameyang goal, man. Once again, it was build up from the back, and I think Lacazette was fouled in the build up to that, and well played to Willian, because he ran around the back.
Ran around him and gripped the ball.
He ran around the back, and he just carried on. He grabbed the ball, saw Aubameyang over, and that wasn't the first cross ball that Willian was doing. So I don't know why Fulham didn't pick up on that. I mean, it was pinpoint, and that touch by Aubameyang, just to bring it down, it was fantastic. And the finish, I mean, what more could you say? The keeper was nowhere. It was through the gap of the defenders. It's I'm glad he got the first. I mean, he goal on the first match because he lost out on the golden boot by 1 goal. So
Mm.
if he can get a goal a match, I mean that's 38 goals. Um, I'm hoping that this is going to be his season and it's going to be Arsenal's season. So just give him the pen, give him the contract, just let him sign.
Yeah.
Let's just put that to bed. But it was great. I mean, we went absolutely berserk when we saw that goal went in. We didn't expect it. I don't think anyone really expected it. But I think from now on, I think everyone's going to be looking for that cutback now from Aubameyang. So I'm hoping he's got more in his locker, which I'm pretty sure he does.
Mm.
But yeah, 3-0. I mean, great goals, great team performance. Couldn't have asked for more. Maybe a couple of more goals, but
Yeah.
we can't be too greedy.
Yeah, it was the day of debutants, to be fair, with
Yeah.
William assist to Gabriel, all of that. It was really nice game to watch, and obviously first game of the season. So do you have a man of the match? Anyone that you felt that stood out? I suppose you kind
It
of
has to be, it has to be William. I think he had a fantastic debut. Um, but El Nani as well. I think he's a bit of one of the unsung heroes. I think he had a fantastic game in the middle. But how do you not see those 3 assists as a man of the match performance? So well done to him. And I think he was actually man of the match as well. So
yeah, no.
definitely him. Definitely
Yeah,
him.
no, it's quite exciting. I didn't expect him to play that well. He played, and give 3 assists. So, we had our doubts. I think a lot of people had their reservations about him. The other guy switched it and was like, "Why did he even choose us? Like, he could have went anywhere in the world. Like, why did he choose us?" So, obviously there's two sides to it. But now I think debate is over. we just have to trust in what he's doing
Yeah.
and how Arteta's setting up. Because one of the things I noticed in the second half, he was moving more wide, but in the first half, he was
Yes.
more working towards the inside a lot. So it showed
Yeah.
his versatility and the off the ball. I'm sure you would have noticed it, but we're getting better and better. And then obviously out the back, we're getting a lot better.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like beginning of last season towards like the first few months, we were like, why are we still playing out the back? Now we like that's like our best trait. To be fair,
Yeah.
we're releasing it so comfortably out. I think things are looking positive. Hopefully the next game I think is West Ham or another London.
Another London derby. This time we're at home. But I mean, now we've got so much in our arsenal. I mean, we've got our long balls coming from potentially David Luiz at the back. We've also got long balls from Zaka in the middle. We've got cross-field balls from Willian. And Willian looks comfortable. Like it looks like he's been an Arsenal player for how long now? And that is promising. And that also is potentially very dangerous for other teams. Because if he starts getting even more and more comfortable and starts building that relationship with Pepe and Aubameyang and Lacazette and Ozil, I mean, he might even still come back into the team. We still have him. The midfield and the suppliers. I think it's going to be huge, and I'm hoping that we can just outscore most of the teams, and I'm hoping we're going to see a goal flourish from Arsenal this season.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully we can bring in that creative midfielder. Oh, sorry, from Leon, and hopefully that could also then bring a new dynamic to our game as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think we obviously seeing the fruits of Arteta's labor, and it looks quite exciting. And hopefully, we bring in that creative player, or he does whatever he needs to do. But the one thing I want to mention is away win 3-0 with the clean sheet. That's quite a great start for us. So considering going away, we were really dodgy away, and I think these are the fixtures we need to get done and dusted. And I think William will be pivotal with these type of teams. Fulham, Aston Villas, maybe even the West Ham's, Burnley's. Well, Burnley's not here, but those type of teams. No, I wouldn't say Crystal Palace. They
Well,
pay.
they could still give us
Yeah.
hell because I mean they are still a London. It's
Mm.
also a London derby, so those derby games and those small teams they always seem to be our Achilles heel. So if we can really stamp them out right from the get go,
Yeah.
I think this month is going to be very very important. Even going into next month, if we can
Yeah.
get a result at home, which I'm sure we will against West Ham, we go to Anfield, we can take it to them, take it to the champions, to Liverpool, and sorry to bring it up, but I mean, I watched Liverpool's game yesterday. They do not look good at all.
Yeah,
They are
also did.
struggling.
And
They are
Leeds was
struggling
really
to.
exciting as well. On the flip side, like
Well,
wow.
that's what I say. Like any promoted team is very dangerous, and Leeds really showed exactly what they could do. Very silly fouls from the Leeds in that, but I think that if we continue to improve and we really do some damage at West Ham, we could take it to the champions at Anfield, and we could really maybe come away, 3-1, somewhere around there, because we are looking on fire up front. And Virgil van Dijk, I think he's a thing of the past now. I might eat my words later on the season, but
Yeah.
I think people have sort of figured him out, and I don't think teams are afraid to sort of go at him anymore. And I don't know. I've just got I don't know how to put it into words, but I really think we're going to take it to Liverpool, and
Yeah,
hopefully
but
we can take it into
the
the rest of
other
the
thing
bigger
is
teams.
they ran that team hard for 2 years, like 2, 3 years. These guys are gonna they're gonna have an off season. So it's whoever capitalizes on that. Hopefully City also has an off season, and then it's our time to shine. But yeah, you can see the legs are not there. Even the concentration levels weren't there. But Leeds, the only issue I had was they still play like a championship team in the sense that they go hard in the tackles, in the box, and maybe in a championship game you would have not gotten those as penalties. But in the Premier League, like if you just flick Salah, he falls down. So, I think if they work on that, there'll really be something to be reckoned with. And I'd like to see them against the Wolves or like a kind of, even against us, but Arteta already beat him, so it's cool. in the FA Cup. So yeah, before we end off, thanks for coming on, or as always. I don't know if you have any exciting news for your members or your supporters in PE or across South Africa that are keen. Yeah, how's it going? How's everything going with the club? Bringing back, I saw you got hoodies and a fantasy league that you're doing. So that's quite exciting stuff, man.
Yeah. So I think we've got a lot of things coming up this season. Once again, it all depends on the lockdown rules and the curfew rules. So I don't even think we're going to be meeting for the West Ham and the Liverpool games, unfortunately. But yeah, we've got a lot of opportunities for our members, and for anybody who would like to join, we've got a fantasy league going where you can win a nice Arsenal PE hoodie, which we've sort of designed. And if you are a member and you're a registered and paid up member, if you win that league, we will we'll get you a shirt of your choice of the season. So we're really trying to be there for our members. I think there's going to be a couple of events coming down in PE this season. When it's going to happen and what we're going to do, we haven't quite finalized those things yet. But just keep an eye out on our Facebook page, Twitter page, everything, all our social media platforms. And yeah, I think there's big things to come from Arsenal PE. So watch the space.
That's great. That's great. Looking forward to working with you and hearing what you guys have in store for everyone. And I hope these lockdown rules subside and we're able to travel freely, because I would like to come to PE and the games are like 8:30. You're like, look, we can't really do anything because of lockdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really hope everything works out. And yeah, all the best. And I think I might just join your fantasy. I tried it out this season. I haven't tried it before. So we'll see how it goes. I looked at it now. I was a bit angry. I was like, Mitrovic didn't score, but I'm like, does it really matter? So it gets a bit bad with that, I suppose. But yeah, no, always exciting stuff, Maria. I really appreciate you coming on and looking forward to the next match day. Maybe we'll chat then. We'll see how it goes. You'll let me know if you guys are hosting anything, and obviously we'll share it and stuff like that. So fingers crossed our president helps us out, Yeah, but always great having you on. And yeah, of course, we didn't mention it, but everything that Murray is doing in all the clubs, they follow the social distancing rules. They keep it safe. So yeah, don't worry about that. They got everything covered. So yeah, guys, we got Murray here, the PE Supporters Club, resident, founder, everything. He's doing everything there. They're doing some cool stuff. Stay tuned to their pages and watch the space. They're really coming with some new stuff this season. It's going to be an exciting season. You can see we're all smiling. So, we've been smiling for a few months now, so it's unusual. So we'll see how it goes, but it's looking positive. Murray, thanks again. We'll catch you soon. Awesome. Next match day. It's me, Keish, and Murray. We're out. Gunacast SA.
Cool, guys.